Amid growing disagreements within NATO, a senior French minister called for France to withdraw from the alliance. Clément Guette, deputy chairman of the French National Assembly, stated that being part of an alliance led by a power that disregards international law is undesirable, referring to US leadership within NATO. Guette added that such an arrangement places Paris at risk of being dragged into conflicts that do not serve France's national interests, highlighting concern about NATO's current trajectory. Her France insubordinate party, known for its left-leaning and nationalist positions, condemned NATO's actions and reiterated advocacy for the alliance's complete dissolution. According to the BZ newspaper, Guette's call for a French withdrawal might actually come to reality. French President Emmanuel Macron also expressed doubts about NATO's recent decisions, signaling a widening policy rift between Paris and Washington. On January 15, Macron emphasized that France and its European partners must accelerate the development of indigenous long-range weapon systems, aiming for greater strategic independence from NATO supply chains. His comments came just days after Russia launched a nuclear-capable Oreshnik missile, striking an aviation plant in Lviv. Russian military used Oreshnik to strike an aviation plant that serviced MiG-29s and Western-supplied F-16 jets near Polish border. Macron said, quote, "We are within range of these shots. The initiative that we launched, known as ELSA, makes perfect sense when we have just observed for the second time the firing of a very long-range missile, known as Oreshnik. If we want to remain credible, we Europeans, and especially France, which has certain technologies, must acquire these new weapons that will change the situation in the short term. With our German and British partners in particular, we must make strong progress on these long-range strike capabilities, to increase our credibility and support our nuclear deterrence." Unquote. This came amid heightened tensions within NATO, largely fueled by Donald Trump's bold plan to acquire Greenland, a Danish territory. Trump has repeatedly said that the United States intends to take control of Greenland, saying openly that he would not rule out military measures if diplomatic efforts failed. Following the stalemate of US-Danish talks on Greenland's future, France deployed a small military contingent to the island in coordination with European allies. On January 15, a French military team of 15 personnel arrived in Greenland's capital, Nuuk. President Macron announced that the initial contingent would be reinforced soon, with additional land, air, and naval assets to support ongoing European defense exercises.
In the face of this complex world, where many certainties are being called into question, do not doubt. Be proud of your country and of our armed forces, because that pride is legitimate. We are the most effective army in Europe. We possess the most independent and autonomous nuclear deterrent in Europe. This is a strength without precedent in today's world. Be proud of it. Be confident that you hold in your hands everything required to succeed, to ensure our country remains independent in the face of all emerging risks. But we, the French, are not spectators or commentators on the world. At every moment, we must be determined. We are here to act, to take the initiative, to protect ourselves, to produce what is necessary to do so, to redeploy new capabilities, to act immediately to protect and assist all our allies when they are threatened, and to be agents of stability wherever we are engaged. So, at the beginning of this year, be determined and be active, on the offensive, in the service of stability and peace. Be proud, be determined, never submit, and move forward, because we have everything required, everything needed to act, because this is precisely the history of our country, because we possess this strength and because we will continue to do so. As you have understood at the start of this year, my wishes are addressed to you, to your families and to your brothers in arms, but they are wishes of determination, commitment and resolve. Do not give up. Continue. I have confidence in you, and at the beginning of this year, I want once again to express my pride in standing before you, my pride in your commitment, for this is what sustains our armed forces every day and represents the debt the nation owes you. Be proud, be present, and let us move forward. Long live the Republic, and long live France. For the past 9 years, we have consistently upheld the necessity of strengthening European strategic autonomy and reinforcing it for our armed forces. At the outset, we did so largely alone, but that solitude must never lead us to doubt. Look at what has happened in recent years. Those who dismissed this as merely a French idea, European strategic autonomy or a European pillar within NATO, awoke in February 2022, when Russia launched its war of aggression against Ukraine. 1 month later, under the French presidency at the Versailles summit, European strategic autonomy was enshrined in a declaration of the European Union, and 3 years later, in March 2025, the European Council recognized European defense engagement, the European Defense Pillar, and EU funding decisions to support the efforts of European armed forces. What was initially a French conviction in response to evolving threats has progressively become a European certainty. We were right to begin, even alone, and to sustain this effort through our armed forces and the coherence of our strategy. We are a credible power for stability in Europe, in Africa, and in the Indo-Pacific, wherever peace is threatened, because we are credible, reliable, and predictable, a rare quality in today's world. That is why France and the Europeans must continue to be present wherever their interests are threatened, without escalation but uncompromising in the defense of territorial sovereignty. I referred earlier to Ukraine and to Greenland, an autonomous territory of the Kingdom of Denmark. Europeans bear a particular responsibility because this territory is part of the European Union and also belongs to one of our NATO allies. France has decided to join the exercise initiated and launched by Denmark in a sovereign and independent manner under Operation Endurance. A first contingent of French troops is already on the ground and will be reinforced in the coming days with land, air, and maritime assets. I thank the Chief of the Defence Staff for having swiftly coordinated with his Danish counterpart and for responding decisively to the very concrete requests that were made. This is the role France must play, to remain available in assessing threats, to adapt swiftly, and to stand alongside a sovereign state in the defence of its territory.
The deployment was part of the Danish-led Operation Arctic Endurance, a joint training mission designed to strengthen European defense coordination and Arctic readiness. Danish officials described the mission as a recognition of the territory exercise, aimed at displaying logistical access and demonstrating operational mobility in extreme conditions. The drills also included a symbolic element, raising the European Union flag on Greenland, intended to showcase the EU's presence and solidarity in the Arctic region. French defense sources said the two-day operation was organized to demonstrate that EU armed forces can be rapidly deployed to protect collective interests if needed. Alongside France, Germany deployed 13 personnel, while the United Kingdom, Norway, and Sweden also took part, reflecting a growing European alignment independent of NATO command.